the topic of going to college, as I mentioned in my series that we're looking at, which is Debt-Free College, one of the things that is important is answering the question, why are you going to college? What is the purpose? Because ultimately, if we take a step back and we have to ask ourselves, college is not for everyone, but learning is. You can learn a lot of things about a lot of things without going to college, right? But I want people to be lifelong learners. That's part of my goal in life. I want to inspire people to flourish in that way. So, for example, we know some of the textbooks they use in college. We know some of the resources people are using. So if you feel, for example, that you're called to go be an auto mechanic, okay, then go get the training to be an auto mechanic. But that doesn't mean you don't learn American history. That doesn't mean you don't learn Western civilization. That doesn't mean you don't learn French or German or whatever language you want to learn. That doesn't mean you don't learn how to appreciate music and so on and so forth. You can do a lot of the things they do in college. If you want to have that discussion, again, let me know. Feel free to comment in the comment section about maybe your specific situation, or maybe you have a question. Send me an email at amostarfa1@gmail.com. But it's important to know that I mentioned this in one of my other videos. Books like this, right? When you take books and learn about the history of America, you learn about the history of France, you learn about the history of different countries, the history of Nigeria, Japan, China. You can learn history. You can appreciate learning and then see how can I apply that to my life. So before people dive into the question of going to college, they should really be thinking about, what am I doing with my life? So here's one quote I want to give you today. Instead of saying, I need to hurry up and go to college, because some people, when they're graduating high school and you ask them, what are you going to do next? They say, well, I got to get ready. I got to go to college. Why? Why not hurry up and figure out what you're supposed to do with your life first before you answer the question of, I'm going to go dive into that college? And then some people go to an expensive college. That's not necessary, right? Some people go to a college where there's 500 people in a classroom. Again, does that work for you, right? You're paying a lot of money to sit with 500 people and you know that you're not learning, but you're just there to have fun, quote unquote. College is not a place for you to just go and have fun. College is supposed to be a place you learn diligently. Now, I'm not saying we should all be like Isaac Newton, who thought that anything with some of, having social events and so on could be a waste of time. Isaac Newton was unique, but what I'm saying is when you go to college, you have to have a vision, you have to have a goal. One of the things I realized, the difference between some people who go to college as undecided versus those who go with a major, you can actually, and I'm actually going to be doing an experiment and studies in this field over the next few years, you can actually realize how much effort they might put in, right? If you go to college and you're like, I don't know why I'm here, I'm just here, and you have someone else who's like, oh no, I want to be a nurse. They are focused, they're going somewhere. The other person is like, I don't know why I'm here, I'm just here to hang out. That might lead to a person not giving their best in their classes. So I want to encourage you to encourage your children and other people to ask, what do you want to do? And let's not pressure them in a bad way. But I think America has swung too far to a different direction that is not healthy. Here's what I mean. Now, I grew up in a culture that swung to another way that is not necessarily very healthy. But when I was in fifth grade, I never did sixth grade because of my fifth grade exams that I took, which I thank God they went well. And it went well. I scored well in that exam and I skipped sixth grade. But in fifth grade or sixth grade, we used to take this high stakes test, these standardized tests that if you don't do well in those tests, you literally don't get to go to a good high school and you can't go to a good college. Like your life is determined by what you're doing in fifth grade. Your life is determined by what you're doing at the age of 10. That's what I grew up with. Now, that's not ideal for everyone, but here's the interesting thing. I've listened to conversations, right? Some person is in 12th grade and they say, well, I don't know what I want to do with my life. And maybe their parents tell them, yeah, just take your time. You got time. Okay, yes, they have time in one sense, but how about buying them some good books, like a book about the Wright brothers? Maybe that would inspire them to think about what their gifts are and what their talents are, right? A book about the Wright brothers and people who have invented things, or people who are influential, right? Gifted Mind is another one that comes to mind. This one talks about one of the individuals instrumental in the discovery of MRI technology. So why don't we give them books to inspire them? How about we give them books about inventions, right? About NASA, right? Take them to the NASA space station. Now, I'm not saying everybody should be a rocket scientist. My point is, find different books that can inspire and encourage your young people to think about what they want to do with their lives. And when they know what they want to do, then we can talk about college, right? We can talk about if college fits into their life vision. Because college as a typical 4-year track might not be what fits into everyone's vision. I've written a few books on different topics. One of them is Achieving Excellence in Academics. One of them is Pursuing Excellence in Character. And then I have the book Tools for Mastering Mathematics. And in some of my books, you will notice over and over again that I believe inspiration is important, but we need to inspire students to then start thinking about what they are called to do, what they are to do with their lives. These are important questions. One of the books I've written is called Why Do I Exist? And that, of course, is a very fundamental question that people have to think about. Our lives have meaning and purpose, and we have to then think, okay, why? And why do I exist? So these are books that you can find on my website, livingsensibly.org. Another book that can help people, and they're free on my website as PDFs. But again, if you want to support the work that we're doing, you can feel free to donate with our link below as well. This is another book that is very important called Roadmap that I believe can be a good tool. At least it can just get them thinking, right, about different things as far as career, about different aspects of choosing a direction in college, if they're going to go to college or if they're going to go a certain way. So it's very important that when we're talking about debt-free college, we have to answer the question, why are you even going to college? And you have to have a reason. Even if you have to take some time off after high school, maybe take a gap year, do some CLEP testing. I've talked about CLEP testing before. Do some CLEP testing, take a gap year, and you know what? During that time, figure out more and more, shadow somebody, like go work with someone who might be a nurse. If the hospital won't allow you, maybe just go take them to lunch, buy them lunch, listen to what they do. Ask yourself, do you want to do that? Right? If you can shadow in engineering, if you can shadow in economics, if you can shadow the classroom teacher, these are important things to do. So number one, we need to encourage people to think about CLEP testing or testing out of courses. Number two, we need to encourage people to shadow other people and make sure they know why they want to go to college and what they want to do with that degree. Some people say, well, a 4-year degree can open doors no matter what field it's in. You have to be careful about that. If you get a degree in a major that is not useful or doesn't have a high return on investment, you will have student loans and you'll be working in a job that has nothing to do with what you did. And you know what's unfortunate? If your major was teaching you a lot of things that are not true, right? By the way, there are people who study nonsense. It's a thing, just so you know. Nonsense is a thing. I'm not making it up. Look it up. Look up Wittgenstein, a professor out in Germany from back in the day. Nonsense is a thing. So imagine you went to college and studied nonsense, and now you have $80,000 in student loans and you don't have a job. That doesn't take you anywhere. So make sure you ask yourself, why am I studying what I'm studying, and what is the point? That is very important. Knowing the goal will inspire you to go far in life. Thank you for your time. We'll continue in this series, but I hope this helps us as we begin to think about going to college debt-free. Thank you for watching that video. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so that you see every time I upload a video. Feel free to leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. And if you want to support the work we're doing, please use the links that are provided also. Thank you for your support and have a blessed day.